Picks, September 22nd. We were 1-0 yesterday on one dog, which was nice. I wanted to bet more games, just really couldn't find another game I liked well enough. That puts us to 18-11, I guess, over the last 15 days. It's interesting, still out of those 18-11, I had played four favorites and lost all four. I keep going back to that. I just can't believe I'm 18-7 on dogs and the four favorites lost, but that's sports betting. It's pretty random, so I will move on. I've got two games today. I got one I really like. One, it's going to be a one-unit play that's got a high upside. The first game I'm looking at right here is going to be Baltimore. Baltimore, the Poisson model likes Baltimore. That seems like the first time that's happened in a while, but I don't put a lot of weight in it, as you guys probably know if you've heard my videos. Last 10 games, Baltimore is 4-6. Teams that are 4-6 over the last month are hitting 41% win percentage of 54-77 and negative 20 units. Not a selling point on Baltimore, but Baltimore's basically 50-28 on the away or on the road, so they're a very good team. And 95-58 overall, they're a very good team. So I'm not too worried about Baltimore. I like betting Baltimore when I get the chance when I'm not paying a lot of juice. Cleveland is 5-5. Those teams in the last 30 days have hit 52% at 64-60 and negative 0.3 units. So there's a little bit of an indicator there potentially on Cleveland, but I don't really put a ton of weight. I'm just kind of pointing out the data points. As far as the pitching goes, this is really a deadlock matchup. You got the Baltimore pitcher, the 1.3 ERA, whereas you've got the Cleveland pitcher with let me move this up a bit, with a 1.25 ERA. Both pitchers fall into the same range in the last month at 61% at 94-60 and plus 4.5 units. If you go to the ERAs, 4.17 and 3.77, those fall in the same range because they do range of 3.5 to 4.5. Those pitchers or teams' results are at 48% the last month at 60 and 64, negative 14 units. Nothing here so far done anything besides say Baltimore's a better team. The data points are relatively even until you get down to the splits. Teams that are hitting are in the 90 to 100% range on the split are hitting 64% over the last 30 days at 54 and 31. They are negative 2.1 units because most of the time there's a lot of minus 200 games and things like that. This is minus 102. I expect this line to change. Trying to get it in a little bit early and get some value or get this price at 102 before it goes, I think, to like 110. I think it's going to be pretty even, but that's an assumption, not a fact, obviously. Road teams are hitting 41% in the last month at 71 and 101. Sounds bad, right? Not all bad. They are plus 2.3 units because when you get plus money, you can make money even if you don't hit 50%. And then look at the home road records. Baltimore's plus 22, very good. 22 games over 500. Whereas Cleveland is basically 4 games over at home. So Baltimore's a better team. Both teams are relatively good. I mean, I shouldn't say Cleveland's good, but they're not Kansas City or Oakland or anything. But I'm taking Baltimore. I'm putting 2 units on Baltimore. I'm comfortable with that. It's a good play. I'll take it. The next game I have for you guys is a bit of a long shot. This one actually even shows my predictive confidence on this one. It has Houston at 7 higher than Kansas City. The reason I'm taking this game actually is because, let me break it down. One is the Poisson model does not like, it basically thinks Houston will win in a close one. I could probably, if you really want to, you could probably take Kansas City plus 1.5 and probably get better value. I want the upside for 1 unit. The last 10 games, Kansas City is 7-3. They've been relatively hot for Kansas City, which is pretty remarkable. Those teams are hitting 60% plus 1.7 units in the last month. Houston is 4-6. Like I said before, those teams are hitting 41% negative 20 units in the last month. And again, the pitching, this is the biggest thing. The pitching actually is pretty much a deadlock. You got Reagan over in Kansas City at 1.14 in the whip. You got Valdez at 1.09. Both pitchers fall in the 61% range. That is a wash. Go to ERAs. You got 3.33 on Reagan, whereas you have 3.20. Both teams are at 63%, or both players kind of fall in the teams that have a 63% win percentage over the last month. That's a deadlock at pitching. Kansas City's been a little bit hot. Then you look at the splits. You can see 39% split is 59% of the money. That's not a bad sign. Those teams are at 45% negative 3.1 units. Road dogs, again, are at 41%, but they are plus money. And obviously, you can't argue that, Houston, even at 500, is a much better bet on the home away argument, where Kansas City is basically, negative 35 games. So I'm putting 1 unit on Kansas City. I would not be surprised to see Kansas City win this game. Seems like they're getting a little bit hot. I think Houston's, a better team, obviously, but for 1 unit to double my money, it's not a bad bet. So 1 unit on Kansas City, 2 units on Baltimore. Good luck. I'll put out some picks tomorrow. Hope everybody's doing well. Bye.